Hello, I'm checking to make sure that this is live. If you come on and you can see me and hear me, if you would please give me a heart or a thumbs up or something, let me know what's going on. Looks like there I am. Turn this down. Okay, I am, oh, I didn't realize that was gold. Let me show you what I got here. I'm getting some paint together. I have never used these kind of paints before. I bought these at Walmart. These are folk art mostly. They're enamels, and I got this because it said dishwasher safe, which I figured meant could be used on glass because they didn't have anything that said glass paint. These say indoor, outdoor, dishwasher safe. Quick drying. Most of them are multi-surface. So I think that's the big thing to look for. This brand was Apple Barrel. Guess I'm going to get a little bit of this gold because I had it out. That happens for a reason. I've used these just a little bit so far to put a base coat on these. And I'll tell you about that in just a second whenever I figure what all I'm going to have on my ornament that I'm going to paint with you real quick. Ooh, that's red. That's red. Guess I can get more if I need more. Get this one more out. That's black. I hardly ever use black, but I'm going to have to get over it. A little bit there. I don't have this plastic taken off of them yet. It's not like I have anything against squirting it out of the thing. I'll get that off at another time. I just wanted to come on here and do this tonight. Let me show you what I've done so far is on these here. I wanted to get a half dozen done this weekend, and here I am at Sunday night and I haven't got much done, but enjoyed some time with my grandkids and stuff. But I just have an old sponge that I cut up in little pieces, and I actually just opened the lids and squirted a little bit out on the sponges and then dabbed it all over. I didn't want a solid background. I wanted it to have a little bit of, you know, haze sort of to it is what I would call it. So I just got the sponge wet with it and actually stuck my finger in there and just went all over it and went like this. And I got this old rusty muffin pan that I don't use anymore, and that's what I'm going to use. And a couple of them stuck in a couple of places. The size of the muffin tin is about the same size as these balls, but I've looked at each of them and selected what would be the ugly spot, and it's now going to become the pretty spot because that's where I will paint my design over. And if you see the red live button up in the corner, you are catching me live right now. If it's not up there, then this is you're catching it on the replay. If you have any questions or comments, I'll come back to them later because I'm going to just be looking at the ornaments in just a minute. Hi, Tammy. Thanks for joining me. And I'm going to turn off my comments. I won't be able to see that for a little while. But I just grabbed a bunch of small sizes of brushes, some round ones, some skinny ones, some kind of straight ones. They're angled brushes, round brushes, liner brushes. Just grabbed some small ones, and as you can see here, only got just a small amount of paint. And I'm going to do one of the brown ones first, and I'm going to try to do it with it sitting right here. Let me see if I can go back to make sure that y'all can see that. Which I'm sure you can. Okay, I have a cup of water here at the top as well. I'm going to try to grab one that's not too wild up here at the top. These are those cheap brushes. I wish I had my better brushes in here, but I don't. And it is a little bit wild at the top. So I got that wet. And if you can see, I'm just sort of twisting it around a little bit. I got a damp rag back there to try to get a little bit more of a point to it. And I'm going to go ahead and outline my angel, which is what I'm going to put on here with this black so that I can see it later. Make sure that hopefully y'all can see that. She's going to have a little round face because that's simple. Simple to start with. Just sort of putting some flowy little shoulders and arms in there. This dress will kind of flow out to the end. We'll put some flowers or something in her hands and just kind of go up where her wings would be. And this is, you know, I'm not trying to go for anything like all complicated and all that here. I'm trying to go for, hey, yay me, let's get a pat on the back because I set a goal to get this done and I'm going to do it. And it still will look prettier than if I had not done one at all, right? Try to make it kind of go out about the same. Okay, hopefully you can see that pretty good. Rinse the black off. Trying it at, I don't have my camera on my ring light tonight. I have the camera on the stand, and I've done reviews of the ring lights and reviews of the stand if you're wondering about any of that. Let's see. I'm going to let that, I should have brought a blower in here, but I didn't. But I'm going to go with a little bit of white, and let's go ahead and get the wings in a little bit. I'm going pretty thick with this. And I'm not, I'm wanting it to look a little bit rough and rustic, so I'm not trying to stay within these black lines perfectly. They're just making it to where I can move a lot faster right now because I already have an idea of what I'm doing. And I'll come back and outline some more later if I wanted more of the outline look on there. And see how thick that is, and I'm just kind of covering it up. And remember, this was the ugly spot of my ornament from painting it and then sitting it in the, here, this wing's a lot fatter. But I'm not going to worry about that. Just laying it on there. The paints are pretty smooth going on there. It's not as thick as like the acrylic paints that I normally use. And that's what I had planned on doing these with. And I did the first ornament. I didn't put any of the paint in the background like I did on these. And I went just straight on the ornament. It was on one of, let me see if I can show you this. Oh, I can't get it out. It was on one of the glass ones that's kind of iridescent. And I wanted to leave that iridescence on there. And so I just painted directly on it with my regular Blick Acrylics, and it was hard to see where everything was, and it just wasn't as good in my opinion. Now I'm gonna make sure that you can still see that. Put it right there. And I'm trying to stay within the amount of the bulb that's going to stay in the top of my thing there. Let's see. I didn't get out a color for her dress. I'm going to get out just a tad of this pink. This is so far on there. The background on this one was burnt sienna, and the black was licorice. The white is wicker white. And this is Parisian pink, and I'm probably got more than I need out already. Probably that amount right there would have been enough. Let me see what happens when I just take that. I just wanted to put a little bit of color to her robe. And it's mixing in with the black, but we're not going to worry about that, because we want it to be kind of mottled and rough looking. I'm going to try to leave a tad of the black there as an indicator between the area that is her arms and sleeves. It's like an airspace indicator. And I'm not wanting this bright pink. I'm trying to mix it in with the white as I go. Just get it kind of flowy down. See how that's just sort of coming down? It's not really like ending. There's not a hem or a bottom to her dress there, or her robe. That just made it sort of a pale pink. I'm just going to go back in and make all my brush strokes be going in the same direction. Keeps it looking a little bit better. I'm going to go in and put, this is toasted marshmallow. That's going to be my skin tone. I'm using the same brush. I'm just rinsing it out in between everything. I'm just putting a tad of this down here in this area. This is going to be where the flowers go, or the heart, or whatever we end up putting there, but it's also got to indicate her hands a little bit. I have a darker brown here because I didn't buy any kind of yellow color or anything. This is going to be her hair. See if we can see it. There's a big old drip of water on the brush. And remember, go up next to the neck because your hair does kind of fall behind your neck there. Kind of breezy that on down. I'm going to go with the skinniest of the brushes that I have out here, this liner brush, and dampen it just a tad and use that same color brown. And I'm not putting eyes exactly, but I am going to put a tiny little line where an eye would be. And then I'm going to go back and put her, get some of this pink and put her just a tad of blush on her cheeks. Put some of this bright pink in here. You can see that real well toward the flowers. I didn't have out any green. I have a couple of greens here. I'm going to go with, there's a lime green and evergreen. I'm going to go with the evergreen first. I'll probably get a little bit of both. Can you see how small of an amount of paint I'm getting here? And it's still going to be too much paint. This is just going to indicate the leaves just a tad behind the flowers. See if I can pick it up to make sure you can see it. Oh, didn't mean to take that out of the range. Just kind of dabbing that in and trying to make them have a little bit of a straight edge out at the edge to mimic the leaves. I've got a little bit of red here. Getting a minute amount of that on there. I'm going to dry brush a little bit. I'm going to get out another small kind of a brush here because I'm not really wanting those bright pink splotches. So I'm just getting a little of this skin tone on the brush and then getting most of it back off. And I'm going to dab over that so the pink becomes a undertone. And then I'm going to do the same thing over the eyes. Knocking most of that paint back off with the brush. And when that dries, I'll probably lightly go over it. Let's see if I can do it now while you're with me. There we go. So I really don't want a face on there. I'm going to come back with the skinny brush and outline or just a tad here and there to get the shape of the arms and stuff back in on the dress. I think it looks better to outline, but see, I'm not going down there under the bottom flowy part. The hair is still way too wet. Try to go outline the wings just a tad. Make them stand out a little bit more. Anywhere you have the really white or the really black, if you outline with the other and accent or highlight with it or whatever, it makes the other one stand out so much better. I appreciate any hearts, shares, likes, any of that. That helps my page to get out a little bit more, which helps me to be able to share the love. And I'm not trying to make these lines straight, just trying to get them on there. I lied. Now I'm going to go back and just sort of seal that off too, because it does look better to be finished. And see if I can get it thin enough to kind of get her neck and neckline. I don't know if you can see how soaked her hair still is, but it's very soaked. I'm not gonna mess with it because I'm gonna mess it up. I got that gold out that I didn't know what to do with. I'm gonna put that in her wings a little bit, and probably a little bit in her hair. And this is metallic gold. Seems to be a little bit thicker, or either the lights are causing it to dry a little bit already. Just gonna give a little bit of texture to her wings with it. This is simple, simple, simple. I'll probably make one of these for each of my grandkids. And I don't know about you, if you're as old as me, possibly, you're thinking about, you know, the things that you leave behind once you're, you know, once your time on earth is through. And I think my grandkids would like to have the ornaments that I made for them to bring to their households and put on their trees at their house. I hope that they save them. I know that I sure love the ones they've made me over the years, so just sort of burnishing in here and there. This white is already dry under there. I don't know if you can tell. I can't read the comments, so if I'm not answering you, I do apologize. But I'm trying to just keep my eyes on the goal here and show you how fast something like this can, you know, be done. You can just hop in your craft room or at your table, wherever you do your crafts at the most, and make it happen in just a few minutes time. Let's put a little bit of gold in her hair. This gold is really thick, and I don't want to put too much water in it and then thin everything out there. You know what I think? I think she needs some flowers in her hair. And put a little bit of black in there to get a little bit of, so you can see some of her highlights a little bit more. I have one brunette daughter, one blonde-haired daughter, and a red-haired son. My grandkids are a dirty blonde, a medium blonde, and a redhead. We run the gamut around here. Now we put the dark in, so we need to put the light in to make up the difference. There's still a good bit of water up there. That's where I had too much water on that, with that brown in the very beginning. Make sure she's still a brown-haired girl. She is. Let's see if I can. I think she needs a flower in her hair. See if I can find the driest spot to put it. Put it right here. Put my green on there first. And I'm going to dot it with the red. Oh, that's pretty. I'm going to dot the pink on top of that. Get a little more pink into her robe. That black darkens it up quite a bit, so I think a little more pink would go a long ways in keeping it feminine. And let's hope this ain't messing nothing up. I'm going to put a little bit of pink in her wings. You know, a girl must accessorize appropriately. A little bit of pink in the wings don't hurt nothing. Okay, we're going to use this same pink, and in my instance, we're going to put a T right here. And we are going to call her almost done. I can't leave well enough alone. I gotta go back on her face just a tad with the, what was it, toasted marshmallow? With the toasted marshmallow, and go back over that black. I don't like it. Just lighten that up just a tad. And I think she's done. That's what she looks like. I don't know how many minutes that took, but that was not very many, I don't think. Can you see her? And there is now a hand-painted ornament with an angel on it. And I will probably do different forms of angels on most of those. I'm going to do it's a boy and it's a girl on the pink and the blue one. And I'm going to try to do, after I get this whole set done, just some other chapels or cottages or barns or birds or greenery or something just a little bit different. I think a handmade Christmas is a pretty cool thing, and I love being able to do my part and finish it so quick. So looks like we've been at 7:40. What did I start? 7:15. 20 minutes. That ain't bad. That ain't bad at all, y'all. If you make some ornaments, post some pictures and let me see. I would love to see them and see how yours are going. And if you have any questions, oh, I've been 25 minutes. If you have any questions, just ask them on here. And please give me some hearts and some shares, because that does help my little business, and I appreciate you. And if there's something you would like to see me attempt on one of these, let me know, and we will do that together. Thanks. And thanks for the hearts. Bye.